The great failed romances of the 20th century. Boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives. The great failed romances of the 20th century. Let's go hear about how they ruined their lives.
Welcome to the Great Failed Romances of the 20th Century. I'm singer, songwriter, and historian Teddy Gray.
And I'm the Statler to his Waldorf, Sam Kaufman. So Teddy, which couple will we be delving into today?
Today we'll be taking a trip on down to the theater as we discuss the relationship between acclaimed playwright Tennessee Williams and the love of his life, Frank Philip Merlo.
The theater, eh? Never much cared for theater myself. I'm more of a sports guy. Football, you know?
Tennessee Williams was a writer who began his career at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, working on a variety of screenplays, but he quickly found that his unique gift for realistic dialogue and complex characters was more suited to the stage than to the screen. His first big success, The Glass Menagerie, won the New York Drama Critics Circle Award for Best Play in 1945, and established him as one of the most gifted playwrights of his time.
His reputation was secured when A Streetcar Named Desire hit Broadway, followed by a number of other hits, including Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Sweet Bird of Youth, and Summer in Smoke. Throughout the 1940s and 1950s, widely considered his creative peak, he was in a long-term relationship with Frank Merlo, an actor who had served in World War II.
Now some of you may be saying, hold on Sam, are you telling us that Tennessee Williams, the man who gave us our first glimpse of a shirtless Marlon Brando, was gay? Well, dear viewer, the answer may surprise you. It's yes.
Tennessee first met Frank in 1947, soon after the success of The Glass Menagerie. A one-night stand quickly turned into something more meaningful, and the two would spend the next 14 years of their lives together. With Tennessee being 11 years Frank's senior, and already being an established member of the theatrical community, most feel that Frank looked up to Tennessee and put his own ambitions aside in favor of nurturing Williams' already flourishing career.
While this helped Tennessee throughout his most creatively fruitful period, it sometimes left Merlo feeling like his talents were underutilized or overshadowed when compared to his partners. Merlo even took on the responsibility of becoming Williams' personal secretary, highlighting the disparity in power between the two.
Speaking of Mr. Gray, your 5 o'clock is on his way.
I told you 6 o'clock, you stupid bitch.
While there's no doubt that they loved each other, their relationship was anything but easy. Throughout their 14 years together, both parties were guilty of numerous infidelities, as well as falling into severe drug and alcohol dependency.
Like most writers, Tennessee was prone to long drinking binges, and Frank struggled with addictions of his own. Tennessee, a famously biographical writer, would often draw inspiration from his volatile relationship for his plays, and scholars still debate today which part of Williams' plays were directly taken from his own life.
Finally, in 1961, the fraught lovers called it quits. For Tennessee, it wasn't only the end of his relationship, but also the end of his hot streak as a playwright, and the years that followed proved to be increasingly disappointing.
For Merlo, however, things were even worse. Shortly after the breakup, he was diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer and told that he didn't have much longer to live. Despite their estrangement, Tennessee spent much time caring for Merlo in his final years, before he died in 1963.
A real feel-good ending.
And it gets worse.
After the death of Frank Merlo, Tennessee was crushed. He fell into a deep depression, which never truly lifted. In addition to driving him further into substance abuse, his heartbreak contributed to his creative stagnation as a writer. After Frank's death, Tennessee never again reached the same heights commercially or critically that he had in decades past. It's safe to say that along with the loss of his lover, he had also lost his inspiration.
And in 1983, Williams passed away at the age of 71, choking to death after accidentally inhaling the plastic cap on a bottle of nasal spray.
So, Teddy, tell us a little about the song.
This song is called When Your Heart Breaks, and it's about how breakups can both destroy and inspire creativity.
When Tennessee was in the midst of his volatile relationship, their ups and downs helped inspire some of his most enduring work. But after Frank's death, the same heartbreak that had once helped fuel his creative drive crippled it instead, showing that you can never truly predict what a broken heart will do to you.
Is that enough, Sam? Sam? Oh no, he's left me, as I always knew someday he would. mind then.
Why are you on your knees?
Nothing, I dropped a penny.
You dropped a penny?
Featuring Garfield the Musical's Michael Lepore. Enjoy When Your Heart Breaks.
Oh, now where's that penny? That's half my weekly salary.
Wise men say when someone breaks your heart, just take the pain and turn it into art. Contented men so rarely feel the need to show the world how beautifully they bleed. Some can spin it into gold, make masterpieces, so I'm told. Well, if that's true, abandoned by the one that you adore, gifted the greatest canvas you could ask for. When your heart breaks, it can turn a fool to a poet, it can turn ridicule to acclaim. When your heart breaks, you might find that you have something to say. That don't mean it's something you should chase. It's ruined twice as many as it's made. Left them shaken, dazed, and hopelessly bereft of salvaging the brains that they've got left. Some can spin it into gold, but most will never be consoled. Their little horses run away. The world will be just fine without your art. You may not survive a broken heart. When your heart breaks, it can turn a poet back to a fool, and it can turn a sculpture to clay. When your heart breaks, you might find you have nothing more to say.
The great failed romances of the 20th century. Boyfriends and girlfriends and husbands and wives. The great failed romances of the 20th century. Let's go hear about how they ruined their lives.